Good morning. Can you believe that we are halfway through with our detox? Congratulations. I am so proud of all the work and effort that you've put in to make this the success that it is for you today. So, halfway through, we only have 2 more days after today, and I know you can do this. Our encouraging word for today, because I would like to focus on um, exercise today. Our encouraging word is going to be moving is improving. And this is a saying that, yes, you'll see if you do the Paula B workout today, you'll see I borrowed it from her. But I really like it because I think it's so true. Moving does improve. It improves our attitude, it improves our immune system, and it improves everything. It's just, you got to keep moving, right? Move it or lose it. Isn't that what they say? So, anyhow, I really hope that you enjoy the day today as we focus on moving. And if you haven't been moving, if you haven't found an opportunity to do 30 minutes of intentional movement, I encourage you to make today that day, the day that you make it happen. So, I think I would like to just kind of share with you first. Oh, something's in my eye. I'd like to share with you first is the benefits of exercise. So I have 5 benefits of exercise. The first benefit is that it prevents bone loss. So every time you have any kind of compression on your bones, so walking, jumping, in fact, jumping actually helps another organ in your body, your thyroid. It actually detoxes your thyroid when you do like jumping jacks or you just jump up and down. But bone loss is one of the key reasons you want to keep moving, and you want to keep your moving being something that's not jarring. Okay. We don't want it to be jarring, but you do want to keep some kind of, um, you know, low impact kind of movement so that you strengthen your bones. Postmenopausal women typically lose about 2% of their bone density every year unless they're doing something to help that. So let's exercise and help that. The second thing is it relieves the pain of osteoarthritis. So, low impact cardio strengthens the surrounding muscles around the joints and things where you've got the arthritis starting. And believe it or not, I notice it. In fact, I notice like if I'm like, the weather that we've been having, right? Is pretty typical that those of us with a little bit of arthritis or even a lot of arthritis get up and we're kind of stiff and sore in the morning, but you notice right away, you notice that it's like if I just start moving, like even in my hands, just little doing my little finger exercises just make a big difference in how I feel and how sore things are the rest of the day. If it's sore, move it. Move it because there's a lubrication that happens and a strengthening of these surrounding muscles in your hands, in your arms, in your knees, feet, all of it. Move it. I like to think of that guy on I can't remember what the name of the movie is, but it's with all the animals and it has that shows that little what kind of animal is he anyways? And he sits there and he goes, "Move it, move it. I like to move it." So every time I say move it, that's what it makes me think of. But we're going to move it because moving is improving. And the third reason we're going to move it is because we want to help prevent or at least decrease the symptoms of chronic disease. And so diseases like um, um, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, even Alzheimer's have been shown through studies that 30 minutes of moderate exercise every day helps decrease some of those symptoms, and or if you don't have chronic disease yet, keep you from getting it. So wouldn't that be nice not to have to deal with those kinds of things and the added doctor visits and costs of having a chronic disease? The fourth thing is boosting our immunity. And in the wintertime, it's all about boosting our immunity. So don't put off exercising, especially in the winter, because nobody wants to get a cold and nobody wants to have illness during the winter time. And so I say keep moving. And most of the exercises that I've given you on your exercise sheet can be done right inside. That's it's not always nice to take a walk, but I also put on your exercise on your sheet, your exercise, yeah, your exercise sheet today, that one of your choices could be take a hike. And yes, you can't take a hike up here, well, unless you put your snowshoes on, but you can down in the valley and in other places. There are places where you can go take a nice leisurely hike. In fact, one of the places I'd like to recommend if you want a place to kind of hike during the weekend, this weekend, you might check out Casumnas River Preserve up near Galt and Sacramento. I don't know what the flooding is like in that area, but they do in normal weather, winter weather, they do have some really nice walking paths and they're flat and it's not like you're climbing or anything like that. But Casumnas River Preserve is a great place to go have a walk and see the birds. And in fact, let's see, it's January, so the sandhill cranes are still around. So you know how I feel about them. I love sandhill cranes, and that's why we worked together for, I think, almost 5 years. Anyways, I would encourage you to get out and walk, and especially after rains, the air is so clean and so wonderful. And so take it helps to boost your immunity. All right. The final thing and final reason that we want to exercise every day, and I'm here to tell you, I totally believe in this and I have experienced it, and that is that it improves your mood. It absolutely does. That movement, and especially if you can have that movement with someone like Paula B, she always makes me laugh. And laughter, it's really good for improving your mood. Um, but it helps ease anxiety, can help with depression, increase relaxation, and overall well being. So, if you are wanting to have a better mood for the day, then guess what? Move it, because moving improves your mood. How exciting, isn't that? So, yeah, so get out there and start moving around. All right. So, but I really want to conclude with what is moderate exercise, because I keep saying that, right? I keep saying moderate exercise. So, well, what does that mean, Kath? Well, here's what that means. Moderate exercise and the right exercise includes balance work, because you got to work on your balance to have balance. And then that way, when you step kind of funny on an uneven sidewalk, or you're uneven ground, and or something is slightly slippery, you're likely to stay standing rather than falling. And then stretch and flexibility. That's why I include yoga. Even 15 minutes of a stretchy, flexing yoga can help you increase your flexibility. And we want to stay flexible because, if we don't move them, you know what happens, especially if you have any kind of arthritis, you lose that flexibility really quickly. Um, Light aerobic. Okay, so we don't want to be so sweaty when we're all done that we can't hardly move, or that we just feel like, oh, okay. It's the right moderate amount of work. If you, like Paula B says, if you could do this exercise every day this week and still feel okay. If you wake up the next morning and your muscles are hurting and everything, that's too much exercise. That wasn't moderate exercise that you did. And as older women, estrogen isn't there to help us with our recovery. Estrogen is our recovery hormone, and it's not there to do that recovery work quite as fast. So if you wake up after doing a exercise routine one day and the next day you feel sore, take that day off, because your body needs to recover. And recovering, when you're sore like that, that means there's inflammation. And you might even see it in the scale. You might notice that, oh, my weight's gone up like 2 to 3 pounds. And that can happen from doing too much exercise. Finally, the last thing is it is important as we get older to continue to do strength exercises, and strength resistance kind of exercises are so important. Things like I want to suggest like squatting or um, I can't remember some of the other ones that are done, but strength exercises are so important as we look at what should moderate exercise include. Now, that doesn't mean that you're that every day that all of those things are in your exercise routine. But again, that's why I love B. She includes at least three, and three of those in every single exercise routine she does Monday through Friday. So take a look. And if not, then I would say, like, when you're out walking, don't just walk. Realize that this is my 30 minutes of exercise. So do something, do some flexibility, right? Stretching. You can do these kinds of things so that you can get those shoulders moving. So there's a lot of things you can do to stretch out, stretch your leg muscles, stretch your ankles and your feet. You can do balance work up on your toes, down again, up on your toes. Stand on one leg for a bit, try to see how long you can keep it off, and then switch legs and do it on the other side. There's just a lot of things that you can do besides just a casual stroll to help out and include moderate exercise. All right, well, let's take a look at the schedule for the day. And so I want to point out again, exercise before breakfast as much as possible. If not, exercise after breakfast. Today, we're going to have the muesli again, and I encourage you to try a different fruit. Maybe blueberries on it today. Maybe it's an apple. Maybe it's a pear. Try a different fruit on your muesli today. Next would be that we're at lunchtime is coconut yam soup. Oh, I love coconut yam soup, and in particular, and this one maybe isn't quite as good as the one that they serve at this little restaurant up here called Schnugs. And their coconut yam bisque is to die for. But you know what? This is going to be pretty close. So enjoy your coconut yam soup. Hopefully you made it this last weekend and you had some on Monday, and now we're just finishing it up as leftovers today. Then for dinner, it is butternut squash curry. Remember that I told you on our pre-meeting that this curry is not curry. It doesn't have any curry in it. And I would recommend that you keep it vegan today, that you go ahead and not use chicken, but try the toasted or browned tofu. I think you'll really like it, and it's really good for your body. It's a good health food, and it's just the right amount in this particular dish. I am excited about tonight's evening stress relief activity, or stress release activity. Um, I have found a wonderful breathing meditation that I really like. It's done by the folks at UCLA's Mindful Awareness Research Institute. And I really like how the gal goes through it slowly with you. She tells you what to do, how to breathe. And as I read through several of the comments about this particular breathing activity, I saw that a lot of people really commented on how effective this activity is for reducing anxiety. One gal wrote down that she was so glad she had learned this breathing technique because she used it to avoid having a panic attack. So I think it's really good to say, if you've had a really busy day at work and you're just feeling stressed, turn on this breathing meditation and go through it. I think you'll really like it, and I think you'll find that it does take it down a notch. And you should be ready for bed by 10 o'clock after going through this meditation. I put on the list that you might like to have a little bit of chamomile tea with this after you finish this exercise, but you don't have to. It's just a suggestion. And it may be something that maybe you want to have prior to doing the exercise or the little activity. But either way, let us know what you think of this breathing activity in our comments in our text message group. Finally, time to sleep. And on your printout for the activity, on your handout that I gave you for tonight's activity, I also mentioned things, they're called sleep hearing, or I think it's something about a sleep hearing um, earmuff. And what it does is it blocks the noise, from the dogs or the cat that sleeps in your room, or maybe your husband snores. Whatever the noise is, it keeps the noise from waking you up during the night. And I've heard it's really effective. I don't have, I haven't used them, so I don't know. I know that on the airplane, I put earplugs, just regular old earplugs in, and you can do that too. It's just that when you put stuff in your ears, if you use a regular earplug, they're not designed for sleeping. And the pressure, especially if you're a side sleeper, the pressure of sleeping on it, um, can actually cause some sores to form in your ear, because they're just not meant to have that kind of pressure. They're meant to just sit inside your ear. They're not meant to, actually lay on. So I recommend ear, the little ear cup. It's just like a little cup. It fits over the top of your ear. You'll have to check it out. You can get them online at Amazon. Anyhow, I think that about wraps it up. I just want to remind you again that our focus today, our third day, is our focus is on exercise, on moving, right? Because moving is improving. And we are improving our body, how we feel, improving our immune system. We're improving all kinds of things by making sure that we have at least 30 minutes of movement, every intentional movement every day. All right, you guys, I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow. And I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you again soon.